Hey guys, welcome back to the home gym. I'm Coach Andrew. If you're new to the channel, I would invite you to subscribe, especially if you're someone who's really into self-development, and especially if you're an entrepreneur. You see, I am a certified strength and conditioning coach and a high-performance life and business coach. Self-development is literally how I make my living. I am obsessed with it. This channel is all about self-development, things like fitness, business, family, relationships, and of course, health and fitness. This is my home gym. So, like a year ago, I did a few equipment review videos. They actually went over pretty well, and they're still some of my most viewed videos. I just recently started focusing on the channel again and trying to deliver more targeted content. But I figured I would return to this because, honestly, I have been building this home gym for like 4 years now. I have cycled through so many different kinds of equipment. I've bought things new, I've bought things used, and I've had a really fun time building this gym and just experimenting with everything. And I know that there's a lot of you out there who maybe own your own studios or maybe your own home gyms, and you are looking at some equipment and you just need honest opinions about what to buy because there's a lot of options. There's huge differences in price between brands. So I'm just going to start filming some review videos today and try to get through all of my favorite pieces of equipment and my not so favorite ones, so I can hopefully provide some more value to those of you who are just looking for opinions. So subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what your questions are, what you're trying to build. I'm here to help you guys. But today, my friends, we are going to be reviewing the Marcie half power rack here. The exact name will be in the title. I don't remember what it is at the moment, but this is it. I'm sure you've seen it before. This power rack was being sold at my local Dunham's Sports for, I want to say it was like $170. I saw it on Amazon. I think it was like $130 or something on there. I bought this one from jet.com. I paid $117 for it, and I have had it for almost 3 years now. So it's well overdue for a review, and I have been just beating the hell out of this thing for 3 years, so I can give you a pretty precise opinion about how well it holds up and if it's worth the money. So first thing I'm going to say is it's absolutely worth the money. For $117, I don't think you could possibly find a better deal for the money. I am a resourceful person. I don't spend a ton of money if I don't need to. And this power rack was literally the perfect solution because this house, the house I'm living in right now, was built in 1836. It was like built during the pioneer days in colonial Ohio, and the ceilings are really low and the floor is kind of uneven, and I didn't have room for a full rack, so I wanted to get a half rack, and this was the perfect option. As you can see, it fits perfectly. I don't know how tall the ceiling is off the top of my head, but this power rack was a few inches shorter than most of the others, so it fit really well. And as you can see, I'm going to try and back up here. It really doesn't take up that much space. This is a very small basement. It might look big on camera, but it's pretty small. And the power rack is just, it's very economic in terms of the space it takes up. So the power rack itself just comes with the base, obviously the poles, the stuff on top, and the safety pins and the bar pins. All of the straps and everything up there is stuff that I have added. So we'll start up here and I'll show you what I've added. Right here I added a strap, and from there I like to attach my bands. You can see over there I have exercise bands. So if I have a client, or I hardly use the bands, but I can attach them to that and use overhead band exercises. Up here I have my ab straps, so I can do hanging leg raises. My clients love those if their grip isn't strong enough to hang from the bars. Those do perfectly well. They slide a little bit, but I just tuck them in the corner and it works perfectly fine. And I also have TRX bands attached to the top of the rack. All of these things hold up great. I store them up there. They don't get in the way. They don't obstruct the pull-up bars, which work perfectly fine. The only thing about hanging stuff on this bad boy is just that it can tip if you're heavy. It can definitely tip. And so here is what I did. This is a simple fix. It's probably not an ideal fix for some of you, but it works perfectly well down here. I have an old 45-pound Olympic barbell, and it just kind of fit in this little crevice right here between the push-up bars and the feet, and I just stuck it in there, and 45 pounds is enough to hold the back end of the rack down. You can see I also have those 35-pound plates just barely sitting on the lip of those feet. And those two things down there providing that just a little bit amount of weight, a little bit of counterweight, is enough to keep the rack from tipping, and I can have someone who's 250 pounds doing, TRX, delt pulls or tricep pulls or bicep pulls, and they won't tip the rack over. So I do recommend weighing it down somehow, or if it's an option for you, you can bolt it into the floor. That would definitely be probably a superior alternative, but I don't want to do that. So the rack will tip if you're tall or if you're really heavy, but other than that, works great for pull-ups. I'll give you a little demonstration here. So there's a couple ways you can do pull-ups. It has pretty much everything you need. You can do wide neutral, close neutral, underhand, overhand, and you can go super wide with these right here. Oh God, the bar's in the way. Lots of great options, right? So we will move down here. The pins can go all the way up here, all the way down. You've got lots of different options. I've never really had an issue with myself or anyone where there wasn't a good height adjustment. There are enough options that even tall people, even short people can get most of what they need. I have marked the holes I use most often with tape. If I'm incline benching, I go with these diagonal tapes, and if I'm flat benching, I use the flat tapes. So that's where the safety goes, and that's where the bar goes, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, I've had people bench 400, people squat 400 off of this thing. As you can see, it does get marked up like any power rack will, but it's not excessive. There's no damage, there are no dents, there are no dings. It holds up pretty well. Even these big safety pins that sometimes have a risk of bending, I've had no issues with. They're very strong, they hold up great, and I have put I've put like 450 pounds on this right on the end, and it's sat there throughout a workout, and there's no issues whatsoever. I've never left weight on the bar when I'm not using it. You shouldn't do that anyways. That might bend it over time, but you shouldn't be doing that anyways because that'll ruin your bar. The assembly was super simple, just a bunch of nuts and bolts that look like that. They go on the bottoms of the legs, on the tops of the legs, and then you plug in the bars and everything on the bottom and the top. It took like maybe 40 minutes with 2 people. It was probably quicker than that. It was not complicated, and the great thing about this rack is it's really light. I could, as long as I took the bar off and the plates off the bottom over there so they weren't weighing it down, I could lift it up with one arm. I could stand underneath it, lift it up with one arm, and move it across the room. So it's super easy to move, easy to take apart, easy to put together. My family and I are probably going to be moving across the country pretty soon to a new home, and I'm going to be selling a lot of my equipment, but I'm going to take this apart and take it because I love it. I'll probably invest in a full rack eventually, but I just love this one so much. It's so light. When it comes apart, it takes up no space. It'll be easy to bring, so I'm keeping it. The only other problem that I can think of with this rack is after assembling it, you just want to make sure that you tighten each bolt just a little bit and keep going around one at a time and tighten it all, tighten it all, tighten it all. You don't want to tighten one all the way and then another one all the way because that will warp it. And I did my best, but this rack is still a little warped. As you can see, I have a piece of cardboard underneath this leg to prop it up because it will wobble. And it's only a difference of like that much. You just slide something underneath it so it doesn't wobble. But you will get some warping and bending if the nuts aren't tight enough or if you assembled it poorly. It'll bend and warp a little bit, but it's easy to fix. So there it is, you guys. That is the Marcie Power Rack. Super economic option for people who want to have a home gym. It's great for bench pressing, great for squatting, great for overhead pressing as long as you have ceiling space. I don't. I can only do seated presses. It's great for pull-ups. I love this thing. I'm so glad I went with this option. If you're looking for a very affordable option that's compact and has pretty much every utility as a full rack. This is a great way to go. So highly recommend it. It gets a 9 out of 10 from me. For the price, you really can't beat it. A better, more expensive rack is going to be sturdier. It's going to have slightly more features. But like for the price, you can't beat this value. So that's it, you guys. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have questions in the comments. I do my best to answer all of the questions I get. If you like this, if you want more equipment reviews, I'll put the playlist in the comments or something. I have a playlist that is all of my equipment reviews. At the time of filming, it's like 3 videos. I'm going to add a ton more and review a lot of the stuff that I have down here, so you can check that out. And if you are into self-development, if you are an entrepreneur, if you run an online business, you're going to love my channel. So hit that subscribe button. You can see videos. I've got Ask Coach Andrew, Coach Andrew Talks. I have an online business playlist. All kinds of interesting content. We're always talking about self-development, mindset, fitness, relationships, business, entrepreneurship. Lots of fun stuff. So yeah, check it out. If you like it, subscribe. That's cool. If not, that's cool too. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope this video was useful. Take care.